Hello everyone, Sylvia here from Grace for a Gypsy. In today's video we'll be making a Halloween gnome, sock gnome. These little fellows are made from socks that you get from Dollar Tree or Walmart or wherever you can find Halloween decorated socks, and they're really cute and they're really easy to make, so let's get started. Okay, so the first thing that you need is just a flat basic sock. This happens to be one of my socks that disappeared. The other one, the match to it, disappeared, so I'm just using that instead of buying one. You'll need a colored sock. And this part I'm going to use for the coat. And you really need two pair of socks. Ordinarily I buy the long socks like this. This is a Christmas sock, but I didn't get to Dollar Tree in time, and I guess they sold all of the Halloween socks, so I'm improvising. So I bought these. These are just little, ankle socks. So I'll be using one of these for the bottom, the coat. And then, because I couldn't find the full socks, I did find this at Walmart, and it was only like $2 and I think 97 cents. And it's ladies' tights. So I thought I could cut the feet out of both sides of this to make the gnome, which is actually what I did on this one. So we're going to use that. You need a beard. This is just faux fabric that you can get anywhere, Walmart, Hobby Lobby, anywhere. You need rice. This is a pint jar, and that's about how much rice I'll be using. You need some string of some sort. This is natural polished hemp. You need a piece of cardstock or poster board. This is poster board. I divided it into thirds, and I'll show you what to do with that in a little bit. You need some little rubber bands. These are little hair ties that I got from Dollar Tree. You'll need a pair of scissors and a box cutter. You'll need glue gun, glue sticks, and you'll need some blush or some kind of makeup that will help us give the nose of this little guy a little color. Okay, so the first thing we do, I poured my rice into this pint jar, and I'm actually going to cut this sock right across the heel. Discard that part. And then I'm going to slip this sock over the jar and then pull the jar out carefully. And then I'm just going to kind of pounce this sock to make the rice go down in it. Now, I'm going to close this top with a rubber band. And then after I get it fastened, I'll kind of pounce this and mold this body into the shape that I like. And it's just like a bean bag or a rice bag. You can shape it however, just by pouncing it. And then I'm going to take a little piece of my string, my twine, and I'm going to tie around this top where I secured it with a rubber band, because I'm going to be gluing the nose and the beard, and if my glue gun touches that rubber band, then you will absolutely fall apart. So I just, as an extra precaution, I tie it off with a little piece of rope. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make the nose. Now, before I actually pinch the nose off, I'll be pinching the nose like this, but before I do that, I'm going to position this rubber band on my fingers just like this, because once you start pinching, you don't have a hand free to help you get the rubber band on your other hand. So I did that first, and then I'm going to just kind of pinch off a little bit here, grab some rice through there to make the nose. And then I'm just going to twist this rubber band until we have a nose. Now, just like I did on the top, I'm going to tie that off with a piece of my jute rope, because I'm going to be gluing his clothes on and his beard. And I don't want to accidentally touch the rubber band with the hot glue and then lose my nose. So I'm just going to tie that off with some rope. And the next thing I'm going to do is we're going to put on his coat. Now, before I put on his coat, I think I'll add a little color to that nose with my blush. This is actually eyeshadow, but I'm just going to dab it on the nose a little bit just to give the nose a little color. Sometimes I put beards on these little guys made out of Sherpa or a lighter color fur, and you kind of need to give them a little color before you put a white beard on there. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this sock right across the heel, because I don't really need that band, and it kind of thick and gets in the way. And I think I'm going to put these pumpkins on the back side, because the beard will cover up the front side, and we don't want to waste the cute little pumpkins. So I'm going to slip this sock over, and I'm going to kind of pull it up around his nose, up under his nose. Like this. Okay, so I'm going to put just a little tad bit of glue here and pull that coat up so that it's right up around his nose and covers up the white sock that's underneath. And I'm going to hold that a second until that kind of dries. And then I'll do the same thing on this side. Whoops, I just got glue hairs everywhere. And then I'll pull that up on the other side, and just like I did the first side. And I'll just kind of hold that there for a second until the glue sets up. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take my fur, and I cut a little notch. I think this is a 3-inch wide by 3.5 to 4-inch long piece of fur. And the reason you'll need this box cutter is that if you cut the fabric with scissors, you'll cut off all of this nice beard over here. So you lay it down and cut like this with the box cutter, and it just cuts through this backing of the fur, but doesn't actually cut the fur. So we're going to put a little glue on well, let's try it on first here. We're going to tuck this beard like this up around that nose. Okay, so that looks like that's going to fit well. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue. Well, that's a little bit more than I planned, but that's all right. There's not really any rules in crafting. If you don't like the rules for a project, you just make up your own rules. And then I'm going to pull this beard up around his nose. And I'm going to hold that there for a second till the glue kind of sticks. Okay, so now we have his beard on. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to make a cone to sit on top of his head to support his hat. Now I cut this circle out of poster board and I divided it into threes. I think it's 9 or 10 inches, but I divided it into thirds. Then I cut one of these thirds out and I rolled it into a little cone and I stapled it. I don't know if you can see the staples there. If you'll notice, actually this one is made out of a Honey Nut Cheerio cereal box. And this cone was a little taller than what I wanted, so I just cut it down to about 2.5 to 3 inches. Now we're going to put this cone on the top of this little gnome's head like this, and it's going to be the basis of support for his hat. So I'm going to put a little glue all around the edges. And then we're just going to set this cone down on the top of his head like this. And hold it there for a second. Now I'm going to just add a little more glue around the edge just to secure it. Okay, now while that's drying, I'm going to take part of the tights that I bought. Now, if I had found, the whole sock, I would have cut the bottom off for the coat, and then I would have used this top part as his hat. But since I couldn't find the big ones, I bought these tights, and it basically works the same. So I'm just going to gather this top part of this little tights, and I'm going to tie a rubber band around it because I want this top part to look kind of like a pom-pom. Oops. Okay. And again, because I might decide to glue a flower or something up there on the top, I'm going to tie this off with a piece of rope, or string, rather, just to reinforce that rubber band. Okay, and then I'm just going to cut these little ends off. So there is our hat, and we're just going to kind of fluff this part up, make it kind of like a little pom-pom. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to pull this hat over the cone, and we're going to start at the back gluing it down. Now on the back side, I just want to pull it kind of low down on the back side, and I'm going to put a little bit of glue right here. And then I'll just hold that there for a second. And then I'll move it to the side and kind of do the same thing. Now, we're going to pull this hat down around his nose, but I found that it's easier to start in the back and just kind of glue it down around the back and the sides. And basically you have to kind of wait until the glue sets up, because it'll pull apart if you don't. And you'll burn yourself. I'm sure you crafters out there watching this know how that goes. All of us have scars or current burns like this one from glue guns. Okay, and now I'm going around to the other side and doing the same thing. I'm just going to add a little bit of glue. And I'm going to pull this side down a little bit. And I'm going to hold it there. And then I'm going to put a little tad bit of glue right here above the nose, because we're going to pull this hat down around the nose, and we want his nose to stick out. So I'm kind of pushing that down around the nose there and gluing it down. And then we're going to pull the sides of it down so that it covers the top of his beard and makes it look like it's just his nose is sticking out. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue right here. And then we'll do the same thing on this side. And my finger got in the glue. Okay. Now, this is what he looks like. So the next thing we're going to do, we're going to embellish this little guy. He's going to have a little floppy hat here. And to kind of keep that hat from just really completely falling over, I'm going to take a little bit of twine here, and I'm just going to wrap it just for a little added embellishment around it. And it also kind of holds it onto the cone. Well, and this string kind of gives it a little bit of support too. And then I'm going to tie that off. Like so. And then I'm going to just kind of cut the ends. Now, I have several little embellishments. We have some spiders here. I don't know if you can see these. We've got some little ghost faces, some little skulls rather. And we've got some pumpkins. Now these are all foam just in the kids crafts section at Walmart and at Dollar Tree. But I saw these and I thought they were cute. So I thought I would just kind of decorate his hat, or maybe I'll use one of the spiders. I have some spiders here somewhere. Well, I did have some spiders. I'm not sure what I did with them. Okay, well maybe we won't use a spider. We can use, let's see what this little bat looks like. Oh, that's cute. Okay, so I'm just going to put a little bit of, I guess he's got two sides to him, but I like the glitter. I'm a glitter girl. So I'm going to use the side with the glitter. We're just going to hold that right there. Till that glue dries. And then we're going to look around here. We might put one of these, kind of almost a sugar skull face. We'll just kind of embellish it a little bit. And this is a good project for kids. They like to decorate that kind of stuff. Okay, so there you have him. A Halloween gnome. Oh, let's put some spiders on his beard. These spiders don't bite, but the glue does. So you be careful putting the little glue on there. I have a sister-in-law that's terrified of spiders even more than I am, and if she knew there was even a pretend spider on this video, she wouldn't even look at it. She's just terrified of them. Okay. Maybe we'll put another one up here. I mean, I can't think of anything scarier than having a spider in your beard, unless it's a spider in my camper. Okay, there you have him. So if you enjoyed the video, give me a like, a thumbs up, and subscribe to my channel. And if you want to get notifications for future videos, just hit the little bell and you'll be notified whenever I upload something. Until next time, happy crafting!